Assalamualaikum, my name is Fatina binti Abdurrahman and my metric number is 23DBT20F1048. So today I will do simulation video genetic population for unit 2. So for the brown color represent the dominant and for the pink color represent the recessive. So there is 13 homozygous recessive and 13 homozygous dominant, and here I have 13 heterozygous, which is 13 pink color and 13 brown color. Have to mix all the genotype into the parent population. Homozygous recessive, heterozygous, and then homozygous dominant. So we're gonna pick two to pick for 60 times. So remember that if we got homozygous recessive, we must return back into the plate. I'm gonna pick randomly for 60 times. So my first generation is pink and brown heterozygous, so mark it on heterozygous. So I'm gonna do it for 60 times. So after I do the tally mark for offspring, I will calculate the number of individual. So the number of individual for homozygous dominant is 23. For the heterozygous is 37. So the total number of individual is 16. 60, and the genotype frequency is number of individuals divided by total number of individual in offspring population. So for the heterozygous also the same, 37 divided by 16. So the calculation gonna be 62%. Next for table B, 3B. For the table 3B, the number of allele is 2 times by homozygous dominant, 23, plus heterozygous, 37. So equals to 83. So for the allele A, for the allele A is 37. The total number of allele in parent 83 plus 37 equal to 120. Allele frequency, so 83 number of allele divide by total number of allele in parent population. So the total is 97%. So next for the allele A recessive, 37 divided by 120 equals to 31%. So next for the table for the table 4, we must to take the number of allele A and dominant and recessive to make a new population. So from the first generation, I got dominant and recessive. For dominant allele is 83 and for the recessive allele is 37. So I gonna mix it to make a tally mark. After I mix it, I'm gonna pick up two toothpick to calculate it on tally mark for offspring. So after I do tally mark for offspring, I got the number of individuals for homozygous dominant, which is 33, and heterozygous 27. So the total of individual in first offspring population should be 16 because 33 plus 27 equal to 60, and the genotype frequency.
Hi, my name is Sarah Jaswari from class DBT 4B, and today I'll be doing a psychomotor video for my Unit 2 Genetic Lab 4. The brown toothpick will be the recessive allele and the blue toothpick will be the dominant allele. So there is a total of 120 toothpicks in this container. 60 toothpicks are the blue and 60 toothpicks are brown. So we need to select 2 from the container and then write down the genotype that it produces. If it produces a recessive homozygous genotype, it will not be calculated. So after inserting the tally marks, we are now going to calculate the number of individuals, which depends on the tally marks of the offspring. And then we're going to calculate the gene frequency, which is the number of individuals over the total number of individuals in the first offspring population, which is 60. So that will be 70 over 60, and that will equals to 28.3. And then in the for the genotype heterozygous, the total number of individuals is 30. So 30 over 16, you get 50%. So next we're going to calculate the number of alleles. So for allele dominant, the 2 has to be times with the number of individuals, and that will be 2 times 17, and that will equal to 34. And now for the recessive allele, it will be 30. So next we're going to calculate the allele frequency, and that is the number of alleles over the total number of alleles in parent population. The total number of alleles in parent population will be the gene number of in parent population times 2, and that will be 120. So the allele frequency will be 64 over 120, and that will be equals to 53.3%. And then the number of alleles for recessive will be 30 over 120 times 100, and that will be 25.5%. So now we will be doing the toothpick picking for the F2 generation from the F1 offsprings. So now we're going to calculate the genotype frequency. So after you calculate the tally marks for the offspring, you will get the number of individuals, that will be 19 and 20. Then after that, you will calculate the total number of individuals in the first offspring, which is 17 plus 30, and you'll get 47. So then you move on to the genotype frequency, which will be the number of individuals over the total number of individuals in the first offspring population. So that will be 19 over 47 times 100, and you will get 40%, 40.4%. And then moving on, 20 over 47, you get 42.6%. And now you'll be doing the number of alleles. So number of alleles will be 2 times the number of individuals plus 20, and you'll get 58%. And then the number of alleles for the recessive allele, you get 20. So the total population in parent population will be 47 times 2, that is 94. And then you calculate the allele frequency. So the allele frequency is 58 over 94 times 100, and you get 61.7%. And 20 over 94, and that will be equals to 21.27%.
Assalamualaikum and good morning to Madam Jannah. So my name is Adil bin Muhammad Anwar. My metric number is 23DBT 20F1016, and I'm from class DBT4B. So now I will do the simulation 2. And here we have toothpick. There is 2 colors. There is pink and brown. So brown is represent as dominant allele, and pink represent as recessive allele. So inside the container, we already have 30 toothpick that is represent as dominant allele, and we already have 30 pink or recessive allele, and we have 30, and also we have 2 allele that is heterozygous allele, so represent as brown and pink color. So they will be 30 of pink color and 30 brown color. So inside the container we have 120 toothpick. Okay, so brown color will be represent as capital E, and pink color will represent as small letter E. And next we will be
the
conducting
simulation. So this is the simulation for generation 1. So we will choose the toothpick for 60 times, and if we get the recessive allele, we will put it back into the same container.
So now we will fill the table from our simulation before. So for genotype AA we get 18 telemark 05. So the number of individual is 18. For genotype AA we get 42 telemarks. Forty 42. So the total number is 60. Then for genotype frequency, we will do it 18 over 60 times 100, and then we get 30%. So for capital A and small letter A, which is 42 over 60 times 42 over 60 times 100, and we get 70%. Okay, so for the table B, so the number of allele is 18 times 2 and plus 42, we get 78. And for the small letter A is 52. And so the total number of allele is 120. And for the allele frequency, 78 over 120 times 100, and we get 65%. And for the small letter A, 42 over 120 times 100 equal to 35%. Okay, so for the next generation we have 18 homozygous dominant and 42 heterozygous dominant. So there will be 18 brown toothpick and 42 pink toothpick, and we will repeat the same step for choosing 2 toothpick and write down for the tally mark. Okay, so for the second generation of string, we have already do the simulation, and for the genotype capital AA, we get 13 allele. And 13. Okay, so for genotype heterozygous, which is capital A and small letter A, we get 47 allele. Forty, 45, 47. So the number of individual is 13 and 47. So total number of individual is 60. So for the genotype frequency, 13 over 60 times 100%, and we get 22%. So for heterozygous genotype, 47 over 60 times 100, we get 78%. Then we'll move on into the second table for the second generation of string. So the number of allele is 13 times 2 plus 47 equals to 73. And for the allele small letter A is 47, and the total number of allele in parent population is 120. So the allele frequency is 73 over 120 times 100% equal to 61. And for the allele frequency small letter A is 47 over 120 times 100% equal to 39%. So that's all for me. Adil bin Muhammad Noor. Thank you.